The UFO vault just cracked open again. The fifth drop from the Department of War. 41 files, and they're juicy. Like this, 2021. Over the Gulf of Oman, a special ops warplane catches something on its infrared sensor. You can see it, that little white dot darting back and forth. The report calls them cold orbs, 4 feet across. No one's been able to explain it since. Then over a town in the Middle East last year, a sensor catches something transiting clean across the flame. Still, no idea what it was. Here's another, this one from 2023. Central Command sensors watching the sky, and then blink and you miss it. The thing rips across the whole frame in about 3 seconds, and it's gone. Then it gets closer. That's one of our own ships down on the water. Watch right the corner. Something crosses right past it. Our sensor locks on and then scrambles to keep up. Still, nobody can say what it is. This isn't new. It goes back decades. The files prove it. In 1964, off Puerto Rico, a Navy pilot spots something the size of a fighter jet. His radar clocked it at 4,300 miles an hour, holding for 21 minutes. The CIA ruled out every plane we had, and nothing since comes even close. And when there's no footage, the FBI draws it straight from the people who saw it. June 2002, over Bagram Air Base in Afghanistan, a service member watches the stars start blinking out. Something huge passing overhead, west to east, a perfect triangle, 500 feet across, deadly silent, steady speed, not a single light on it. The guy next to him saw it too. He turned and said, "Did you see that?" 2011, 2 more service members, another sighting. Where it happened, the government still won't say. 2023, now it's over an American backyard. A former defense employee on his porch when a silent triangle drops as low as 300 feet. No wings, no engine, no rumble. He said if it hadn't been a clear night, he never would have caught it. Gone in 4 seconds. Same city, same year, another witness, another black triangle. This one's pixelated, kind of distorted, with a red light burning in each 3 of the corners. Whatever these are, they keep showing up where they absolutely shouldn't.
We've had repeated instances of something operating in the airspace over restricted nuclear facilities, and it's not ours, and we don't know whose it is. That alone, just that statement alone, deserves inquiry, deserves attention.
Rubio and I are aligned 100%. We do not find it acceptable to have unknown aerial phenomenon.
It's just not an issue, at least as of yet, in this country that lends itself to some sort of partisan or ideological divide.
But the wildest one isn't even from this century. 1963, Brazil. A metal sphere crashes down in a small town, blasting a hole 13 feet deep. Thick glass windows, big enough they figured someone was flying it. There was supposedly a body inside, a dead crewman in a heavy suit marked with symbols nobody could read. Wild enough that our embassy fired off a cable to Washington, and state and Pentagon and NASA all started chasing it for 6 days. They never found the sphere, never found a body, never found a witness. One local newspaper ran it under the headline, "The airship that wasn't there." Strange. And that's just one dump. There's plenty more where that came from. Experts say it shows in few inside the government are the gatekeepers guarding what's really been found and what they know.
They have custody of
the goods.
More information than they are diamonds in a coal mine. They have obtained information about ET themselves, about hardware. They go to their graves taking information that their spouses have never heard, their children have never heard. They can't talk about it to any friend.
In case you haven't heard, the Pentagon has dropped its 5th batch of UAP files. Buried in there were 2 things worth your time. 1, an Air Force gunship crew's own sensors picking up objects that do not fly like anything we've built. 2nd, a pattern of eyewitness accounts that keep showing up decade after decade from people who've never met each other. That matters. Everything else in that release, filler. I've spent my whole career telling people, don't let somebody hand you a stack of paper and call it the truth. Show me the truth. And here's what nobody in Washington wants to say out loud. We keep getting these disclosures, but with no context, no answers. Nobody tells us what the investigation found. You get a video, a document, a witness statement, a press release that says more to come. That's not transparency. That's some kind of a magic trick. Look over here while I don't tell you what's over there. And I want to be fair about this. I believe the president wants the truth out. But somewhere between him saying release it and it actually landing on a website, somebody's deciding what we get to see and what stays locked up. I don't know who that somebody is, and neither do you. They lifted the gag order on folks who might know something, meaning government employees who had signed non-disclosure agreements can now come forward under a presidential directive. But here's the catch. Those folks can only talk to the very same people who've been controlling what gets released this whole time. So here's my question, and I think it's a fair one. Is this really somebody that's holding this information back in the interest of national security? Or is someone trying to get a head start on whatever makes these things move the way they move? Because that kind of knowledge, if one country figures it out first, it changes everything, and I mean everything. And that's a real motive for keeping a secret, whether it's little green men or not. If you're really going to talk about disclosure, then start disclosing.